Welcome back to another ESHL build, y'all. This is the last one before we officially start the player build series, and the one that y'all have been requesting for a while now. It is the best power forward build so far in ESHL, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So, of course, the archetype is going to be a power forward. For height, we are going to go 6'6". Reason being, I like to be kind of the biggest height you can be, but not losing any speed, and the height for that for a power forward is going to be 6'6", because as you see at 6'7" we do start to lose some speed. Then for our weight, we're going to go 195. I know for a power forward you want to be a little bit bigger, and that is completely up to you if you wanted to go up on the weight a little bit more. If you're playing sixes, you don't need to worry about it as much, but for threes you definitely want some speed, and the heavier you're going to make your guy, the less speed you're going to have. So that's why I decided to go 195. Shooting preferences, of course, up to you as always, and abilities and boosts we will come back to as always as well. Next, for your power attributes, we are going to add 4 to our acceleration just to give us 90. I know I want to be in as fast as possible, but 90 acceleration compared to 91, you're really not going to see that much of a difference with. Then we're going to add 2 to endurance, because if you did not know, endurance is definitely a super important factor this year. You want to have as much as possible because you lose energy super quick. One skate up and down the ice, if you're using your turbo, you're going to be absolutely gassed. So endurance is an absolute necessity this year. Then we're going to take 4 off slap shot power, 3 off wrist shot power, and we're going to take 2 off your puck control as well. After that, for our playstyle attributes, we're going to add 5 to our passing, 4 to our offensive awareness, 2 to our body checking, then take 3 off both stick checking and defensive awareness. And I know the defensive awareness is a little bit low. However, if you're playing your lanes right and everything, you will get a good amount of animation still with this build. But also, defense isn't necessarily what I was focused on with this build. Of course, I wanted to increase that body checking. That 84, I believe, allows us to get a few different abilities, which we will go over once we do get to the abilities for this build. Then for your tenacity attributes, you're just going to add 5 to your strength, as of course for a power forward we are going to want to absolutely maximize our strength on this build. Take 5 off your shot blocking and 4 off your durability. And finally, for your tactics attributes, of course, like always, you can, depending on if you're playing center or wing with this build, depends on what you're going to do with these attributes. If you're going to go center, I recommend adding 5 to face-offs, 3 to deking, then take 5 off your fighting and 4 off your discipline. However, if you're going to go wing, I recommend maybe just upping the deking, taking off your face-offs, and kind of adding to discipline. Since you do have those extra skill points, this is kind of what I would go with, and then maybe just add 1 to your fighting skill since you have those 10 extra skill points. But of course, whatever you want to do with this attribute category is completely up to you. Now, going back to your abilities, for your zone ability, you are of course more than welcome to go with whatever ability you want to for this. However, I recommend going with Unstoppable Force. Reason being is bumps are not super effective this year, and they're really not going to be effective when you have Unstoppable Force on. People are going to have to absolutely hit you with a huge hit, and you will be able to avoid those a lot of the time on this build. So if you can do that effectively, along with not being able to get bumped off the puck, this build will literally be, as this ability says, an unstoppable force. Now, moving on to our superstar abilities, one of the main reasons that I absolutely love this build is because there's so many different ways you can use it, and one of the main reasons being is that you can literally get any ability that you want as a superstar ability. Now, of course, you can only equip 2, so this is going to completely be personal preference and how you play with this build. What I'm deciding to go with is 1T for my first one. For our second one, I do want to have a little bit of defense because I am most likely going to be using this build at center most of the time when I'm using it. So I am going to go with shutdown for our second ability. However, if you wanted to go more defensive, you're more than welcome to do that. Like I said, that 84 body checking, that will get you to be able to get truculence. If you wanted to go with that, you could go stick them up if you want to use your stick a little bit more. Quick pick. If you wanted to go offensive, you could use close quarters, heat seeker. If you wanted to use puck on a string, that's super good this year. If you wanted to go for some Michigans, you could use skilled up. You could literally use whatever abilities you want to. However, these are the 2 that I'm going with on this build for right now. And finally, for your boost, I'll be honest, I'm kind of conflicted between 3 different boosts right now. I know we can only use 2, so I've kind of been interchanging these 3. So I'm going to tell y'all the 3 that I'm kind of debating between, and you can choose between these 3. Or if you want to go off on a limb and kind of choose your own, you are, of course, more than welcome to do that. So the first one I'm deciding between is core balance. I'm also deciding between steady hands, and I'm also deciding between core strength. The reason being is all of these abilities will get us to pretty much 90 in their respective categories. Puck control and balance will only be at 89, but still, both of those attributes are pretty important. You want those as high as possible, especially on a power forward build. And same thing with our strength, is we'll win a lot of those loose puck battles and stuff when our strength is higher. So I think getting our strength to 90 is going to be what I'm rocking with for now. And for our other boost, I'm going to be going with core balance. I think balance and puck control, I think they are both very, very kind of dependent on each other. So I'm not really sure if one boost or the other will necessarily help more, but we're going to keep rocking with the build throughout the year. And if you guys test it and you use either boost or both boosts, let me know what you're rocking with and let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. This is the power forward build that we are rocking with to start off the year. If you do enjoy these builds and you are enjoying the video, please feel free to drop a like, comment any other builds, and also we are going to be starting up the player build series, so comment some of your favorite NHL players. Let me know what NHL players you want to see me recreate in ESHL, and I'll be more than happy to bring those to y'all. And of course, sub with noties on so you don't miss your favorite players in the future. I greatly appreciate you boys watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.